Hi everyone, it's Kendall here, and I feel pretty well rested. I just got back from Chicago. I was over there chilling with a friend. We were just having a little vacation, friends weekend type thing. While I was there, I ended up meeting a few of you guys. I didn't have time to orchestrate an actual formal meet and greet type thing, and I always feel bad because every time I travel, I say the same thing, like, I'm sorry, I didn't plan for a meet and greet in there, because a lot of times I'm going with other people and it's just really confusing, and I'm sorry. But I did end up meeting a few of you guys while I was there, and it's always very humbling to meet subscribers, because you see numbers go up on views on videos or on subscriber counts, and it's like, somewhere in the back of your mind you kind of get that that's a person, but when you actually meet them and you hear a little bit about their lives and you talk like about how your videos made them feel better for whatever marginal amount, and it's a very humbling experience, and I'm happy that these little things like story times and just like kind of chill videos are in any way enjoyable to you guys. So yeah, thank you for coming out to see me. One girl, it was her graduation that day, and she said, well, stop the festivities for a second, I want to go say hi to Kendall. And I was like, so yeah, I feel good, and hopefully at some point I can meet more of you guys. I always love meeting you guys, always have very interesting conversation. So yeah, but that's not what you clicked on this video for. You clicked to hear something that everyone looks forward to, story time. And of course, this story time is part 3 of Sundays that are Storytime Sundays is what they're called. What? Storytime Sundays are just for the month of June. I'll just be doing a storytime every Sunday, and those storytimes are chosen by you guys via my Twitter poll. So if you need any links to any social media, that will be down in the description box, as always. You wanted to hear about the time I accidentally ended up at a love hotel. So okay, before I get started, I think the thing that's really important is I didn't realize I had actually gone to a love hotel until about 8 months after I had gone to a love hotel. I was actually sitting with a group of my best friends, and we started talking, and we were talking about just bad taxi experiences and hotel experiences, and I talked about this one time that I went to a hotel that was like a mixture of a bad taxi experience and a bad hotel experience, and as I'm describing the event, they're like, Kendall, that was a love hotel. I don't know why you're so stupid and did not realize, but that's probably why you didn't have the best time while you were there, because it simply was not made for why you were there. Wow, where do I even start this story? I guess I'll start by letting you know that this was when I was at Seogang University. I ended up taking a program at Seogang University that did not guarantee you getting a dormitory while you were, doing the program. And some people at my home university were like friends with people at Seogang, so they were like, oh, come on, give some little like nudge, can we get her in a dorm? Like, get her in a dorm, basically. And for me to have a dorm the entire about 3 months that I was in Korea the first time, they had to pull a few strings, and in that time I had to switch from one dorm and move into another. And in between that awkward time, I needed to get somewhere to stay that one day that I was transitioning from one dormitory to the other. So I decided to book this hostel that I stayed in the first day I was in Korea. It was called Oppa Hostel. Looking back on it, like, Kendall, that sounds mad shady. Like, why did you go to a place called Oppa Hostel? But it was really close to where I was trying to go, so I was like, it sounds kind of sketchy, but it got good reviews. I ended up going there. It was run by an oppa, like an older, like a 28-year-old dude. He was nice. He wasn't as creepy as his establishment sounded. I was like, okay, then I can go there again. So to get to said hostel, I would have to move all of my crap out of one dorm. That's like upwards of 70 pounds of crap in luggage, move it to this hostel that was literally a 5-minute walk. It was not far away. And then take another taxi the next day, 5 minutes to move into the other dormitory. Seems easy enough, right? Problem is, Korean taxis know that if your ride is 5 minutes away, they're pissed because you have luggage and they thought they were going farther, and now they're kind of wasting their time by driving you to a 5-minute away location. I get that, but to be honest, I did not care. It was 90 degrees and I had 70 pounds of luggage with me. So I was just gonna have my luggage out, wave to a taxi. They're gonna think I'm going to the airport or something, and then I tell them to drive 5 minutes away because I'm an inconsiderate butthole, but I wasn't walking it, so you can think whatever you want. So anyway, I hail a cab. Actually, if you've seen my taxi horror story time, this might sound familiar because this kind of leads into the story. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it so you can watch it later. But anyway, I get in a taxi and basically he doesn't want to just drive me 5 minutes because he doesn't really make that much money. Keep in mind, I was willing to pay more because I realized I inconvenienced him, so I was willing to pay like more on top of what I already owe him because of the meter. The meter would say I owed him like $3, but I was willing to pay him like $10. But he decided to act like I'm a stupid foreigner and like he couldn't understand my Korean, which is BS, because you were literally the only Korean I had met that didn't understand my Korean. And he was like, oh, I thought you said this other place on the other side of town, so he could charge me more on the meter. Like I said, I talked about this before, so I'm not gonna go too much into it. What I did is, as we were driving, I told him, take my ass back to Seogang. Luckily, I did not know how to curse at that time, which actually saved me, because I would have got in trouble if I cursed out a ajashi, because I'm a foreigner and I'm inconsiderate to elders. And at this point, I'm watching the meter go up and I'm like, he doesn't deserve my money. So I'd rather get dropped off in the wrong location and just go to a different hotel than to give him more of my coin. I told him, stop right here, because I saw a hotel right outside of my window. And I was like, you know what, just stop right here. Screw you, dude, I'm getting out. I got out the car, I paid what was on the meter, not a dime more. And all of a sudden he was just super nice. And at the time I thought it was because he could tell I was mad. Now I think it's because he thought I was hoeing. He helps me with the luggage. He's like, oh, I hope you had a nice drive and whatever. And I'm like, mm-hmm. And I get out the taxi, I'm carrying my bags and I'm looking for the place that I had, reserved a hostel stay at. But I was so mad and so hot and just so irritated that I decided to say, screw it, I'll just go to this hotel that's right next to me. I go in, I got my luggage. It's a glass door and it's heavy. And so I have to push it back with my back. And I'm pushing, and I'm like, wow, why don't they have people to help you with luggage? Like, is this not a hotel? I'm already pissed for a lot of reasons. And so I realized that I'm not getting help, but there's a receptionist, a male receptionist at the desk. He just looking at me like I'm crazy. 좀 도와주실래요? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, okay. And he comes up to me and it's like, I don't understand why this is so shocking to you. I'm someone with luggage coming into a hotel. Isn't that protocol to help people? I had never been to a hotel where people didn't help you with the crap. So I get to the front and I'm like, yo, can I pay for a one night stay? I'm just staying here for one day. And he's like, you wanna pay for a day? And I was like, yeah. And so in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, is it because people usually pay for more days? Like, but does it matter? Is that any of your business? I'm trying to give you my money. And then he was like, oh, okay, but it's gonna be like $80. And I was like, okay, it's a hotel. Like $80 is kind of what hotels usually cost in this area. Again, no one helps me, but I go up with my luggage and I get into the room. It's a nice room, giant bed. A his and her robe, giant television, amenities including food and alcohol, and a mirror on the ceiling. And I was like, this is interesting. I never saw myself aerially. I was like, oh, okay. So I get on the bed and I'm like, oh, look at them hips. I've been working out recently and started squatting and stuff, and I was like, ooh, yes, look at these gains. So stupid. Jesus Christ. Like, I was like on the bed looking up at the ceiling like, ooh, this will be a cute music video. You can be my vixen, better be a stage. But it was a nice enough stay. I ended up leaving and I was like, okay, whatever. I did my job, ended up going to the dorm the next day. It was a smooth transition. I'm telling this story to some friends of mine and they're just laughing consistently, and I'm like, what did I do? They were like, Kendall, you went to a love hotel, you idiot. I told them the name of the hotel and I told Claire and she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense now in hindsight. My taxi driver stopped being a butthole because I guess he realized that I was going to meet a client. It explains why the teller was confused, because who comes with luggage to stay for one day alone at a love hotel unless I'm setting up shop, like I'm hooking from the inside. It explains why he was confused that I was only staying there for a day because people pay by the hour. Moral of this story, don't bring luggage to a love hotel. They're gonna think you got an assembly line going through your room. As far as hotels go, it was all right. I mean, I don't regret it per se. I gotta like, you become very like at one with your body when you can see it from a bird's eye view. So yeah, that's kind of the story. No passionate love making, no I met an idol and we came together to the pun. We went together to a love hotel and we had passionate love making. No, it was Kendall singularly was an idiot, went in broad daylight to a love hotel, had everybody looking at her crazy, and she didn't even realize she was such an idiot for 8 months after the actual event. Now, I've told this story to other people and people were like, Kendall, I'm not that surprised. You just look like that type of person that would go to a love hotel. And I was thoroughly offended because what does that mean? And I'm like, excuse me. Kendall may have the body made for sin, but she has the heart of a saint and the mind of a scholar. I'm so not funny. Why do I make these things up on the spot? If you like this story, don't forget to like this story time. Also, if you would like to have any say in what the next story time is, don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.